everybody. Merry Christmas. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday. We definitely have so much to be thankful for, to be grateful for. And yeah. I just wanted to come on here to encourage you guys right now. So I love medieval movies. Like, I love movies like that, like Game of Thrones and King Arthur, stuff like that, like Gladiator, stuff like that. You get the gist. And I was watching one of those movies not too long ago, and y'all can't take me anywhere. I'm the type that can find a word in anything, right? So as I'm watching the movie, it was like a spin-off of King Arthur. The movie was a spin-off of King Arthur. And King Arthur's son, at the scene that I'm talking about, wanted to give up. Okay, let me backtrack. So King Arthur passed away, his wife passed away, and his son was able to escape the hand of his uncle who wanted the kingdom. Anywho, there's a part where anybody who can draw the sword, they become king. Long story short, King Arthur's son grows up, and he's a young man now, and he pulls the sword out, and he's going through tests and he's going through trials, and at one point he throws away the sword. He says, "This is not for me. This is not something that I want to deal with. I just don't want it. I don't want to have to go through what comes with having this sword. I just give up. People around me are dying. Nothing's coming to, nothing that I thought was going to happen is coming to pass." He's just over it. He's just done. And what in the world, sir? This is not the way for you to go. Sorry, y'all. So, he throws away the sword, okay? And when he throws away the sword, some kind of thing comes to him. I don't know what it was. It was kind of scary. But comes to him and says, "Trust the sword." And this is what's going to happen if you do not accept your calling. This is what's going to happen if you do not accept the sword. This is what's going to happen to the kingdom. So he accepts the sword after seeing what was going to happen to the kingdom had he didn't, and he allowed his uncle to continue to take rule. And he goes on and he's fighting and he's conquering, and then he has to face his uncle. So I don't know if I said this before, but his uncle was the one who killed his dad and his mom. Okay. But his last battle was facing his uncle. And at one point in the battle, his uncle was winning. And he fell to the ground. And I believe he passed out. And it looked like he was dead for a second, not gonna lie. But that's when he started to have a vision or a dream, and he remembered the night when his father passed, and he was able to really see what was actually going on. And that's when he gathered the strength, because his father said, "This sword is yours and it always belonged to you," basically. And that's when he got up and he started to fight. And that's when he really started to fight with strength. And he was defeating his uncle. And he even said at one point, "I was lost. And I was with basically, the people that were not even royal. I grew up with them. I even was raised by a prostitute. I was this, I was that, and you, thanks to you, you are the one who made me strong." And that brings me to this. You might be in a point of your life where you're like, "Dang, I've gone through this, I've gone through that, I've gone through so much. Like, how in the world can I be used by God?" And even when you try, you fail, and you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, right? The things that you've gone through is what has shaped you to be the person that you are today, to be that warrior that you are today, to be that strong person that you are today. Had you not gone through the things that you have gone through, you would fail instantly. Meaning, like, as soon as the battle started, you would have already just given up. But because of how much you've already gone through, you're still in it. You haven't thrown in the towel yet. You haven't given up. Even though you say to yourself, I'm done. This is it. I give up. You haven't truly given up. You haven't truly thrown in the towel. You haven't truly said to yourself, okay, I'm out for the count. Because there's something inside of you that is saying to you, keep going. There's something inside of you that's saying, I can't just stop. There's something inside of you that is telling you and pushing you and telling you that you're destined for greatness. It might even feel like it's 1% and 99% is just telling you, 99% is doubt. But that 1% is saying, keep going. That 1% is fueling you, right? And I wanted to tell you this: the enemy might make it seem as though he's winning. The enemy might make it seem as though there is nothing that's going to come out of the situation that you're in. But keep fighting, keep going, keep pressing, because that's what he wants you to think. The enemy wants you to think that you're a failure. The enemy wants you to feel like you're a nothing. The enemy wants you to feel like you're not going to ever amount to anything, when that is far from the truth. The enemy knows exactly who you are. The enemy knows exactly what you're capable of. And the enemy knows exactly that if you accept on the challenge, if you accept who you are in God, if you come to grips to who you actually are and whom you belong to, he will get a run for his money. You are more powerful than you even know. You are more powerful than what the enemy is leading you on to believe. I dare you to accept the sword, not the physical sword, but the word, and dig yourself into the word. 2024 is going to be different. 2024 is going to be new. 2024 is going to shock a lot of us. And we have to get ready and armed with the word of God. We got to get ready to fight and stop allowing the things that are so minute to cause us to fall. Greater is who is in you than who is in the world. Greater is God. Put all your trust and faith in God, in the Lord. Darkest part of the night, and I know y'all heard this before, the darkest part of the night is just before the morning. Do not give up the fight. Do not throw in the towel. No. God is greater. God has your back. Give it all to him. The battle has already been won. And sometimes as Christians, we have to remind ourselves that, because sometimes we can just get hung up on the things that are just so small. Oh, the enemy is doing this to me. The enemy is doing that to me. So what? Greater is your Father in heaven. Allow him to fight that battle for you. The battle is not yours. It's the Lord's. Dust yourself off. Get up and go. The situation that you're in may not be where you want to be. May not be what you want to be, but that all can change. It will change if you do not give up.